Hi Angel family, welcome to this episode of Magical Mondays with Christy. Today we're going to be talking about how you choose a tarot deck. So at the end of this video, hopefully you'll have a better understanding of the history of tarot, where it came from, the different types of tarot decks, and how to choose the right tarot deck for you. So tarot was invented in the 1430s in Italy, and how that came about was they took a regular card deck with 4 suits in it, and they added a 5th deck with 21 cards called the Trionfi, meaning triumph. We call that the major arcana today. Then they added an odd card, and it's now number 0, called Il Matto, or the Fool. And this was used to read energy as a divination tool. And then in the late 18th century, throughout Europe, tarot had really taken off. And then it moved into the USA. In the early 1900s, it became very, very popular there. And in 1909, a man named A.E. White collaborated with an artist named Pamela Coleman Smith, and they created the Waite-Smith deck. We know that deck now as the Rider-Waite deck because they dropped her name and added Rider, who is the publisher or ended up publishing the tarot deck. So this is probably the most well-known deck. There's a few different types of tarot that are out there. There's the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. The pictures are very illustrious, very detailed, usually very vibrant. Some people say it kind of scares them, but the only reason it looks a little scary is because the pictures had to really tell a story. You have to remember a large population was illiterate, so they couldn't necessarily read the words on the card if there had been words instead of pictures. There's the Marcel deck. That deck is hails from France, and it has a very simple pictures of the minor arcana. They're not quite as illustrated or dramatic. The last is the Thoth Tarot. Thoth Tarot weaves in the esoteric and the metaphysical concepts throughout the tarot deck. There's some more history around it, but the gist of it is it's believed that the different suits came from symbology from ancient Egypt. So the first thing you want to think about maybe is, which tradition am I looking at? Do I want a Rider-Waite-Smith? Do I want a Marcel? Or do I want a Thoth Tarot? So that's the first thing to think about. The second thing is, you can buy your own tarot deck. That is a superstition. Absolutely, you can go into a store, or if you're at a deck swap, you can choose your own tarot deck. So how do you go about choosing your own tarot deck? Well, certainly what you want to do is look at the covers. We have a large selection at our store. All of our decks have a little try me tag, so you can open them and look at them. But you want to look at the cover. What draws you in? Which one do you find most interesting or attractive? Maybe that's what you do. You just go with your gut. Or if you're starting to look and you can't decide, maybe you open up the decks or the tins. You look at the pictures, you decide, you know what, maybe I want a more traditional tarot like the Rider-Waite, where the pictures are really detailed and vibrant. Maybe I want something like the White Sage Tarot, where they use animals and the pictures are less dramatic. Or perhaps you're interested in angels. Rodney Valentine does a really great job softening the edges of some of the tarot messages, and he uses angels in his pictures. And then there's the Pocket Tarot, the Wild Unknown, and her pictures are pen and ink, very minimalistic, so maybe that draws you in. The other thing you can do is read the book. All of them come with a little book inside of them, and it has some interpretive messages and some information, I would say, from the author and illustrator of the deck. So that's a nice way to decide which deck you might be interested in. The other thing to think about is, how am I going to use them? How much space do I have? Maybe you're traveling. These tins are great for travel. Maybe you have a large space, so you want to get a giant deck. Or maybe you just want a regular size card that you shuffle every morning and you pull for yourself. So space is a consideration also. You might want to think about your skill level, right? That kind of ties into the images and the pictures. How much do you need to draw off of that? And what are your interests too? So all of those things dovetail nicely together too. So these are just some of the ways that you can choose a tarot deck. We encourage you to come in and look and explore. If you have any questions or comments, put them in down below and we will definitely respond to you. And let us know, what is your favorite tarot deck and what are some of your experiences with tarot? We look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magical Mondays with Christy.